I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. I want my baby back,
Chili's baby back ribs.
I want my baby back,
Chili's baby back ribs.
barbecue sauce. I want my
Hey yo, 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 hey yo. Hey yo. Hey yo.
Threats are part of wrestling, you know? But you gotta look at the person that's making the threats. This fat son of a bitch is challenging all of us, has been world champions before, been in this business 15, 20 years, and this fat son of a bitch is gonna challenge us all out.
Calm down, okay? All right?
He's fat! I'm gonna...
about this.
I don't care if he don't... I'll make him bleed.
Let's go!
Who are those guys?
Your brothers? No.
Yes!
Beginning to get on my nerves. Who are those guys? I couldn't do that. Could you do that? How can they do that? Who are those guys?
The fucking DIAZ brothers!
DIAZ, get the fuck out of bed, you lazy bastard.
You piece of shit.
Connor, I know the media has a ton of questions for you, so I just want to ask you, what do you think of this turnout?
Yeah, fuck the DIAZ brothers, yeah? Fuck those cockroaches!
Test 1, 2.
What's up, everybody? Can you hear me? Test 1, 1, 2. I'm solo this week, guys. It's just me. I'm sorry to disappoint, but we're here. And by we, I mean me and me. I'm here by myself and with you guys, you beautiful people in the chat. Welcome, welcome one and all to the show. Look, we're a little tighter in today. Well, it's a little more personable. Welcome, welcome. It's a week, 1 week to go until Halloween. I got some new Halloween sound bites back just for a week. You know, we got to get into the spirit. You know how it is. Welcome to the chat, everybody. We're gonna hang out for a little bit today. We got announcements for next week's big closeout. So how do we shut this off? All right, I don't know what's going on here. All right, it's enough of that. We have a cool announcement for a giveaway next week. We got a lot of spooky things to talk about in the news today. And then what I want to do is see if there's any stones that have been left unturned on the new Indiegogo Indiegogo no investigation. So we're going to look a little bit of that. This is a start to a busy weekend for me, and Brandon is out of town. All right. He's been spotted in Times Square. Some people have said they've seen him downtown, going through the slums of New Jersey as well. So East Coast, watch out. But what's up? We got a lot of people in the chat here. What is up, everybody? Look at this. Ryan Magus in the chat. What is up, brother? Good to see you here. Howl Comics is here. Hyper Wizard. I'm sorry to disappoint. Brandon is not here today. It's going to be just a Phil stream, but I think we can make it a good one. We got a big lineup after the show. Michael Bancroft is going to be on later tonight after this show. The Gutter is going to be looking at some comics. So all you comic fans out there, you get a lot to tune into this weekend. We got Dr. Mass. Good to see you, brother. Maromi is here too.
What's up?
Snarkticon. New Jersey is one big slum. I've never been. Yeah, I don't think I've been. Brandon's been one time before, I think. Scrolling up here. Look, Crazy Mad in the house. What's up, Crazy Mad? Good to see you. Awesome to have you in the chat as always. Comics Legend. Always coming in here with the important questions. Weeks upon weeks of asking if there's going to be a special Halloween. And who knows? Who knows? Next week is going to be the Diaz Brothers show on Halloween. Brandon will be here. I'll be in costume, and we might have a one-day special glow-in-the-dark Halloween bean. All right? Who knows? We have the capabilities. Will we remember to do it? It's easy enough. I think we might be able to. Speaking of beans, little update on all of our shell beans. If you guys don't know what a shell bean is, it's right here. Look, you could see them. Where is that? Let me see if I could. There it is, down there. That brown thing, that's the special Rootin' Tootin' shell bean with a new cowboy hat. I've been printing them. I printed one yesterday. One is printing right now. So we're gearing up for fulfillment. That is exclusive to the campaign, the pre-order campaign of The Man with No Strings. And you don't want to be a man with no beans, okay? So head on over to zadecomics.com. You can get your very own shell bean. You can get the regular shell bean in the merch section right here. You see it, beautiful. Comes in a variety of colors. Or you can go to the special Rootin' Tootin' shell bean right down here in the add-on section of The Man with No Strings. Go grab it. What is it, $8? Right. To me, it says $0. I don't think that's right, but you can grab one right now. Everything is all proceeds go to help us fulfill this bad boy. 6 days left, ladies and gentlemen. 6 days left. If you guys haven't grabbed one, now is the perfect time to get one. And the new thing is if you buy a book from here, if you order this, then you get a free book newsprint floppy of the Lost Pages or Magic Cop 1. You let us know which one, or order a couple things and we'll send you two of these. We'll send you one each, you know. Fulfillment's gonna start at the end of the month. The beginning of November, we're gonna start fulfillment. This weekend, I'm printing books. Tomorrow, I'm gonna go into the print shop. I'm gonna be printing copies of the book, and we're gonna be learning how to use this new kick-ass cutter that we just picked up. I showed it last week and last night. Wheeling in the new cutter. But enough about that. Let's see what are you guys doing in the chat here. You guys excited for the weekend? Let's see. Ryan Magus says New Jersey has really good pizza. Wow. I'll tell Brandon to try it out, because I don't know if he's had New Jersey pizza. Let's see who Henry Bemis is here. Good to see you. He says, how many beans do you think Brandon is seeing at Exotica? I don't know. I don't want to know. But that is a good question. Good to have you here, Henry. That's why we keep you around. Phil's going to be I'm going to start cutting tomorrow. All right. I've, ran all the numbers. I think it's more profitable if we cut ourselves, but no. if we cut our own paper. What's up, Eddie? What's up, Eddie? Eddie, what are you doing tonight? Would you come hang out? I'm all alone here, okay? I think that's everybody. Let me just scroll up all the way up to see if I missed anyone. Alan is here. Good to see you, brother. Let's see. Where is Joe? He's disappeared. Joe is recovering from a surgical procedure. Seemingly everything's went well. I think he just went to the freaking Bengals game right after he got out of the hospital. So it must have gone, as well as it could. So shout outs to Joe Ball. Scrolling up. More. Yeah, excited to hear from Brandon. Sumo is here. I always miss Sumo. Good to see you, Sumo. This is going to lurk. We got Luke in the chat. Bancroft, I don't even know if he's here still, but he was here earlier. I can't talk about Indiegogo because I'm going to talk. I can't talk about Indiegogo because he's going to talk about Indiegogo after the show. Well, that's what happened last week. And his chat was angry because he's being redundant. I don't think they voiced that they're angry. They all send me messages telling me how angry they are at Michael. They dare not evoke the wrath of Bancroft. And I think that's everybody. So we got a lot of cool stuff to look at. And let's get into some of this stuff. I mean, the big news tonight is I want to reveal the super secret final free sketch cover that is going to be given away next week on the closeout of the book. So if you guys haven't heard, I'm sure you have, we are publishing our own single issue floppy series. It's a new weird Western fantasy called The Man with No Strings. Let me see if I can get a zoom in on here. This is the old school retro cover. Of course, this question mark is just not to reveal the villain on the cover. When you guys get your copies, you'll see all the glorious art behind there. Has these wicked retro colors on the cover, and this is a newsprint. This version is newsprint. So you guys could buy the non-newsprint regular cover versions, which are going to be exclusive to the campaign period. After the campaign shuts down after next week, you'll only be able to get the newsprint versions. And we're going to be starting printing these this weekend. And you can see the kick-ass newsprint in here. I don't want to spoiler it because the first issue is to get everybody wrapped up, enthralled into the story. But insane art by Oliver Isabedra. So good. Look at that. Ominous shots here. But there is a giveaway that we're doing because this is, has gone so well. And we will really want to thank you guys for supporting this, taking a chance on a new series from Zaid Comics that we're doing totally independent, totally on our own. We have a special sketch cover that is going to be given away next week on the creative block during the closeout. And then we also have a special bean that we'll give away on this show next week after the campaign is closed. So I have the sketch cover. We'll show it later in the show. But if you guys haven't seen some of the kick-ass other sketch covers we have, this one's by Rich Ayala of Roach Balls, still available on the site. And one from Passion for Drawing as well. If you guys remember old school Passion from the Tales of Nova Terra days, Doom Fate, which I lettered that book. So super cool stuff. Trying to give you guys some awesome original art for your collectors out there. But Halloween is right around the corner. That's when we're closing out. And I wanted to show off some cool Halloween art, some retro covers that I've seen over the last couple weeks of like old school Halloween anthologies to get us in the spooky mood. Because we got a Just 1 week to go. Let's go back. You guys like the zoomed or the unzoomed? How do you guys feel about this? I also got something in the mail. I got a crowdfunded comic, and shout out to Jose Garcia and shout out to Matt Fowler for stealing my glory. This is actually my copy of the book. People, I let them look at my books and then they tweet them out and say, look what I got. And they take all the glory. And then like Jose was retweeting this and they're like, oh, thanks for, and then Tyler. This is the first thing I've ever gotten from Tyler. Jose's art is really cool. I thought the premise was interesting. Basically it's about, it's kind of like a war world thing where it's a contest and whoever loses, their world gets eaten. So you're basically playing blackjack. It literally says it on the cover. What does it say? I play blackjack to save the world or something like that. It's very short. It's like 22 pages, but it's cool. I mean, Jose's art is really cool. And I like the evolution of it as well. Bancroft just put out a review of Lumina Vox, and you could see how this art is actually different than the Lumina Vox stuff. It's black and white grayscale. So yeah, I just wanted to call out Fowler for taking my glory because I actually paid for these books. Okay, they're mine. He just snuck them while I was out at the gym, posted this up without even telling me. Mugen One's in the chat. What's up, Mugen?
What's up?
Good to see you. Let's see. Phil only spoils manga and every other thing. I never spoil anything, No one's accused me of being a spoil sport. So I don't know what you're talking about. I deny it, your accusations. If you want more of my money, it better be a Rini cover. Yeah, I would love a Rini cover. I don't know what I would get her to draw. Obviously, like a Babe, right? She'd do like a great matte black cover for Lost Pages. That'd be dope. Or even like a Helly Magic Cop cover. You definitely have to know what you're going to get. Basically pick and choose the cover for the cover artist that goes to their strengths is what I'm trying to say here. Michael Bancroft variant? What are you guys talking about? You talking about this sketch cover giveaway? Well, I'm going to keep you guys guessing here. Lots of controversy around Indiegogo. Pete Samedi's been popping off. I got a tweet that we're going to look at from him. Do a little commentary on that tweet. Bisley has a people blank and a man with no strings blank. I just got to hit him up and be like, hey, yo, can you throw some ink on those? Sumo, you're 3 minutes behind. God bless. Welcome to the present. Welcome to the present. Forehead cover would be good. All right, let's get in the spooky mood, guys. If you guys are out there watching, share this around. We're on Rumble and X and YouTube. So we got until, 9 o'clock Eastern time. That's when we stream. It's just me. I got a couple half drinking bottles of half and half tea, and then a matcha cookie bar from Japan, all the way from Japan. I don't even know if it's illegal to be in the States, but it's here. Don't tell Ice. I think Pete makes some good points, but good thing he already has his own website. Yeah, that's true. That's why it's so funny because my brother and I have had this site, our site, for years, and I've wanted to, since Bancroft started crowdfunding on his own site and Eric Weathers. I'm like, oh, I want to do that. I want to be able to do that on our own site. So it was just like oddly weird timing that we had this Man with No Strings campaign up, doing it through our own site before there was any announcement of hostile takeover of Indiegogo. So we got lucky on that one. Are you going to show us food news? I'm going to save that probably till Monday, because there's some Coca-Cola news where they're using real sugar in their Cokes now. So we'll save that for Monday. JP in the chat. What's up, JP?
What's up?
My next campaign is going to be on DoorDash. That's good. Yeah, you could like see when the driver is about to drop it off at your door, right? That's smart. That's smart. Okay, let's take a look at this Frazetta. Aaron Lepresti would be proud. Frank Frazetta. It's Frazetta Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. You could hear the spookiness in this painting. Do you guys hear it? The Headless Horseman. I can't wait for Wraith of God 3, Headless Horseman. It's all about him. I'm a big fan of the Headless Horseman, as in Sleepy Hollow, the Disney short. Grew up on that. Love it. We put an homage to the Headless Horseman in Magic Cop. Who remembers that? I think I could pull up a picture right here. If we go to our character bios on ZadeComics.com, go to Magic Cop, you can see him right here. Look at that. Up in the top left, the Headless Hitman. You can't write this stuff. I mean, I guess you can only write this stuff. I don't know. I wrote that. The Headless Hitman. Look at that. Oozing coolness. Shout outs to Alan for the pumpkin head helmet. That is so badass. We need more of this character. There's too many stories, not enough time, ladies and gentlemen. But shout out to Frazetta. He did some awesome spooky paintings. Like I have the Dracula one. I've Frazetta's Dracula hanging in my office, actually, in the other room here. Super cool, super spooky. I feel like this month's gone by so fast. We haven't even had time to celebrate the spookiness. Like, I don't even think I have. Oh, I still do. This is from last year. Look at this. I got this freaking stupid clown here from last year Halloween. That is scream-worthy. Look at that. Sorry for your headphone users. Yeah, last year we kind of went all out, with the Halloween stuff. But, you get older, you tend to forget about this. The joys of October. All right, hashtag sad. November's my birthday month. It's a good month. It's getting cold already. It sucks because my job entails a lot of moving things outside down long ways of sidewalks. So winter is not the best for that. Headless Hitman was a standout in Magic Cop 2. Yes, he might be making an appearance in Magic Cop 3. We shall see. Disney's Sleepy Hollow scared me as a kid. Now Disney scares me in very different ways. True that. I loved the Headless Horseman song. That stuff is just like magic, that old animation. All right. Speaking of spooky stuff, look at this. Guillermo del Toro. Is he Italian or Spanish? I don't know. Guillermo del Toro, I think he's Spanish. Interested. Now, this is not even a big announcement. He says he would be interested. These are the worst headlines. All right. Interested in doing a Phantom of the Opera film. Of course. He would be interested in doing anything that he's loved in the past in his own way, It's such a classic tale. But of course he would do it differently. He always has those twists. I'd see it. I would Hope it wasn't a musical. All right. I think a couple years ago, I watched for the first time the original, 1923 silent movie or whatever. 1920s Phantom of the Opera. And it was cool. Not as much reading as you would see in a subtitled anime. All right. But it was cool. I liked it. I feel like I read the book. Is Phantom of the Opera based on a book? I feel like I read that at a library when I was like in high school or something. Someone looked that up. So maybe you'll get this. You know, he's doing what? He's doing Frankenstein right now. Spanish and olive shaped. I heard he's doing a third and final end cap to Hellboy, which would also be cool. But Ron Perlman's like old and out of shape and angry. Like he's very angry, you know? That's what I know of Ron Perlman. I've expressed interest in Prime Winona Ryder. Nothing confirmed. Yeah, see, like statements like that, you're just teasing, you know? You're just teasing. I didn't see Crimson Peak. We got some Hellboy fans in the chat. Yeah, Hellboy was fantastic. Like, I love the imagination that went in it. But maybe we'll get a resurgence of the Phantom of the Opera. Who knows? Oh yeah, Selma Blair, right? She has some health issues. She was great in those films, though. All right, since it is the spooky season. What's up, Jay Ryan? Good to see you. I almost pushed the wrong button.
Up?
Howdy, Jay. I've been seeing a lot of old school horror anthology books, which were insanely popular decades ago. They had really cool covers. So I saw this post, some pretty cool covers. Speaking of Headless Horseman, what if the Headless Horseman was just a skeleton? How cool is that? And he's throwing a skull. That is dope. Yeah, horror comics were the thing. You had romance comics. Apparently, people say romance comics were selling like horror comics, you know? That's back when women read. I guess women stopped reading after the 1950s. Now they're just reading smut. They're reading about horse people having relations with human females. We got the Headless Horseman rides again. Look at this cover. Now, I know nothing about the artists. I'm just going to tell you how cool they are. Get you in the spooky mood. But I'm sure like Aaron Lepresti or Ram Nolan would know all these artists, who they are, who inked them. The Haunts of the Midnight Hills. Now, I don't know if you guys saw who is it? Oni Press has the rights to EC, which did a bunch of horror anthologies back in the day, and they're trying to bring them back. Resurgence, you know, using all those EC characters. I just picked up they just did a Western anthology that came out this week called what? Outlaw Tales or something like that. Revenge Outlaw Tales. Had four stories in it. Cool Libra Mayho cover. Actually, I could probably pull up that cover right now because I tweeted about it. Because Amanda B is a huge Libra Mayho fan. Give me a second here. And he did a cover for it. It's got a story by John Arcudi, who's the original writer of The Mask. and Ascenti cover. Sorry, not cover. Story. Trying to find the Liber Mayo cover. I read 2 of the stories. They're in kind of cool, but I've never really read anything from Oni. Does anybody? I know they're pretty modern and progressive in their creativity. Let me just look it up. Cooties? No, not Cooties. Oni Press Outlaw Tales. EC. First look at. Here it is. October's Outlaw Showdown. I mean, that cover is so. It's so Libre Mayo, really dope. I didn't recognize any of the other creators on it though. Just Anacenti, John Arcudi. But I'm not sure if this is going to be an ongoing thing. Like, are they going to do one every month, every other month? I don't know how they're like new EC resurgent stuff. It even has the logos up here, the EC logos. Number 1, retro trade dressing. And yeah, I've read a couple titles from Oni. Miso Oni. Wow. Miso eyes hurt. My eyes hurt for some reason. Lee is great. Yeah, he's got some amazing stuff. Oni for the modern audience. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to speak out of pocket here, so I won't. But I did buy that. All right. But they're trying to put out, they're putting out all their horror ones as well. But check this out. Cool. Speaking of cool cover, I've been seeing these like all week. It's midnight. The Witching Hour. I don't have that witch laugh, do I? I got this. There you go. Let me get the witch thing. Witching Hour. These covers are rad. They got this crazy ass witch riding this train off the track into the sky. Super creative. It's just eye-catching. I really dig it. And this is DC. Journey into Oblivion. Super cool. Love the concept there. And then this one, another cool one, Witching Hour. Big old haunted house being pulled by this witch. The haunted houseboat. I like it. Let me see if I can find the witch sound here. What do we got? What's it called? Squeaky door? No. How do you not have the witch's laugh? I guess it's not a laugh. It's like a... No. I might type in witch. No. Sorry, guys. No witches for you. But the Witching Hour. I'm sorry. I don't know what it's called. It's Cackle? Does anybody know what it's called here? Cackle. No. Well, maybe they took it off. Moo is offending the witches. Evil toy? There you go. That's good enough, right? That's a good one. That's classic. I'm sorry, Jay Ryan. What else do we have here? Other covers. Notable covers. Invisible Man is always cool. It. The supernatural thrillers featuring It. That just looks like Swamp Thing. Shouts to Swamp Thing. Why is everybody yelling at me? Cankle? You got some of these in your collection? That's dope. This is not a highbrow show. Baz is in the chat. What's up, Baz?
What's up?
Good to see you. Check out the Superman 344 cover. Is this a new one or is this super old? 344. Ooh, this is cool. And this is a spooky cover. Let me pop this out right here. It looks like we got Dracula, Superman versus Dracula, and is that Michael Bancroft there? What is going on? Who is that? Look at that. Are you guys seeing this? Yeah, you are. You are powerless, Superman. Blah. You are powerless, Superman. Now I drink your blood to make you my... You can't say slave anymore. So you can't sell this book. You know, remember when Britney Spears had that big hit called Slave? Was it just called Slave? Slave Britney Spears. Yeah, it's just, oh no, it's just I'm a slave for you. I'm a slave for, and then the letter U. Much like that, that makes me think Prince wrote it, which I doubt that he wrote it, but Prince had this big thing. He loved to use letters alone and number. Like I would die for you, or nothing compares to you, which is that. Who's that? The bald chick that sang that? Prince wrote that. Shout outs to Prince. Prince, a very manly man who wore purple, you know, very topical. Why is everybody telling me to look up covers now? Look up Rifleman number 10. Does that have something to do with slaves? Rifle 10. This all right, this has nothing to do with slaves or Halloween. It's just this cover, which is suggestive, and I think Henry Bemis needs to be timed out for having me pull that up. So thank you, Henry Bemis. Jokes on me. What's up, Nessa in the chat?
What's up?
Good to see you. Happy Halloween coming up next week. We're doing our Halloween show. I don't know if Brandon knows he's supposed to dress up. He better. Yeah, Sinead O'Connor is the name I was looking for. It's a good song. Very sad. Bats in the chat. Good to see you, Bats.
What's up?
Yeah, we're just talking about some spooky stuff, spooky covers. I think that might be the last one that I wanted to show off. All right. I want to show off the big giveaway thing for next week. So if you guys are just tuning in, we're going to do a giveaway next Thursday night because the Man with No Strings campaign ends at midnight on Halloween. So Halloween day, midnight, as you can see here on the Zaid Comics website, we got 6 days left. Counting down, 6 days left. And if you guys order a book from here or anything from here, you'll get a free promo issue of either the Lost Pages or Magic Cop. But you'll also have a chance to win one of two things. One of them will be a special shell bean that we're going to give away on this show next week. It's the shiniest bean you guys have ever seen. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. But on the creative block, we will. It'll be on this channel Thursday night. We're going to have some friends on. Hopefully, we'll be in costume. I'm going to be in costume for sure. But we're going to be giving away a special sketch cover of issue 0 of The Man with No Strings. I have it right here. It's in this special black folder. Look at that. All the way from the West Coast. And it is a special sketch cover purely for the giveaway. DMs. Wait a second. I don't have any DMs. Oh my God. What is this? People sending me gross horror covers. I'll see if I can download that. So this is from one of my favorite artists. If you guys have seen Bancroft and Rob's art share, what is it? Now I'm getting phone calls from Washington. Who's calling me? Hold on. We have a little interlude here.
Ooh-wee! Shellbean here, and his Zaid Comics got a treat for you. Introducing the all-new Rootin' Tootin' Shellbean, equipped with all-new bandana and cowboy hat. Only available starting September 4th on the pre-order campaign at ZaidComics.com.
Wait, don't be fooled. He's just a regular Shellbean with a stupid cheap hat. He still embodies all of the Bean stereotypes he did before.
But she's got a new hat.
What's that name again? Zaid.
All right, it was Amazon telling me I have to go to the front door to get a package. So I'll be right back. You guys will have to hold on. I'll be right back.
Here goes Dexter, and here goes Sister Didi. Oh boy, wonder what they're gonna get into today. Uh-oh, back to the lab again. Oh no, back to the lab again. We messed up. Back to the lab again. Not again. Back to the lab again. Uh-oh, back to the lab again. Oh no, back to the lab again. We messed up. Back to the lab again. Not again. Back to the lab again. Uh-oh, Dexter's in the lab again. Making up anything he's imagining. There goes Dee Dee, his sister. He always argues with her. She thinks she knows it all because she's older and she's bigger. Whatever Dexter wants, he just goes and creates. Robots, it doesn't matter the size or the shape. He's always doing crazy tests and making a mess. And if they don't come out correct, well, you know what happens next. Uh-oh, back to the lab again. Oh no, back to the lab again. We messed up. Back to the lab again. Not again. Back to the lab again. Uh-oh, back to the lab again. Oh no, back to the lab again. We messed up. Back to the lab again. Not again. Back to the lab.
God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I hope you guys didn't leave. I got this freaking package that it's 7:20 at night. There's no sun out. What is Amazon doing? This is a place of business. You know, no one would have been here if I wasn't here. All right. What were we talking about? The sketch cover, guys. Sorry. If you guys have been watching Bancroft's art share with Rob and Michael, is Michael still in the chat? You guys probably have seen them talk about this awesome artist. And I think, let me pull up his Twitter here. You guys should definitely follow him. His name is Joel Gomez. He does awesome work for Brian Polito. He's been doing Brian's Lady Gunfighter series. And I guess Michael has been really digging his art. He's got this really very rustic style. I'll pull up some of his work here. Excuse me. Check this out. So if you guys, and his females are awesome. He's got this really awesome brush style. A lot of his pieces that he posts, he does on colored paper, or sometimes he does them on colored paper, or sometimes he'll just, I think that is a red marker he put in the background, but it's really striking. And I had, look at that. Speaking of witches, I had hit him up a couple of years ago because my brother's a big fan of his, and he really likes his pinup work that he was doing for Polito at the time. So I got some of his sketchbooks for Brandon's birthday, and he sent along, and also had him do, I think, a version of Helly from Magic Cop in the sketchbook. And he sent me some extra little sketches too. So look at that. That is beautiful. Yeah, it's his stuff is really striking. So I messaged him, and he follows me too. Messaged him. I told him about the book. I actually sent him a copy of The Man with No Strings, and I sent him a sketch cover to do up for this giveaway. And I will show it off. I don't know if I have a little, I'm sure there's a drum roll, but I'm too lazy to actually drum it up. All right, here it is. Super and beautiful. This is going to go to, thanks, Amanda. I mean, I think you'll like this. And great to have you in the chat, but check this out. Let me zoom in on this. This is going to go to one lucky person next week. And this is issue 0, The Man with No Strings. And look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. This is a character in the series. She doesn't appear in this issue 0, but she will be an important character down the line. And he based it off of Oliver's concept art that we haven't shown yet, but it just turned out freaking sweet. So this is going to go to a lucky person. Next week, we'll be giving away on the creative block during the closeout, and stay tuned for more information on that. Wanted to show this off. Along with, there will be a bean. We'll probably reveal the bean next week as well. The bean will be given away on this show next Friday. So thank you guys for supporting the book so far. It's going to be a long running series, and we're going to be putting it out in black and white like this, single issue at a time. If you guys haven't heard, this is, like I said, issue 0. Issue 1 is going to be the next book that is out. Issue 1's already drawn, ready to be lettered. Issue 2 is more than halfway drawn. So we're trying to keep a good pace and trying to build an awesome story for you all to follow, something that you could be looking forward to like every handful of months. And we're going to see if we could get to like that first story arc without having too much time in between books right now. So that is the goal. Deport her? No, she could stay. Mugen 1's enjoying it. Gorgeous, very nice, cool, beautiful. I knew you'd like it, Amanda. Knew you'd like it. Phil doesn't appreciate what I did for him. What did you do? I think I will win this one. That's confidence right there. Yeah, so spread the word. I'll make a post. I'll post the art up probably tomorrow, just to spread it around, and hopefully we get a good closeout next week. All right. Let's see some other spooky stuff here. Comic fans, we talked about mainstream comic news. They're always trying to announce some new things, but this one I'm actually kind of excited about. You know, they announced they're going to do a Lobo ongoing series. Scotty Young, Jorge Corona, Bancroft. You like those guys, right? But they've been secretive on the new book that I'm excited for. That this character hasn't had a series, its own ongoing series in a long time, which that is Etrigan the Demon, iconic Jack Kirby character from DC. My favorite version, written by Alan Moore, where he rhymes. He's always rhyming. Big inspiration for the Masquerade's rhyming. But they're not officially saying who's drawing or creating it. Scott Snyder did kind of let it slip out. People are connecting the dots that James Herron is going to be the creator behind this. Now, James Herron did Ultra Mega. That was his creator-owned IP at Image. And what else? He's done Rumble, which I read a little bit of Rumble. That's actually John Arcudi wrote that. James Heron, I always thought is where, let me look up some of his work so you guys that aren't familiar can put the art to the name. James Heron. Am I spelling that right? Comics. Is it James? James Heron. I always thought he was the predecessor to Daniel Warren Johnson, and then Daniel Warren Johnson really blew up by kind of drawing like him. Does anybody know what I'm talking about here? Here's Ultra Mega, James Heron. I mean, his style really lends to monsters too, so I'm excited about that. He spells with a Y and a tilde. Etrigan was responsible for rap. That's not true. Maybe it is. I thought it. Yeah, maybe it is. But Paul Pope did it first. Paul Pope is old school. What's up, Crenshaw? So in Scott Snyder was like, oh, we're trying to make, we want to make James as big as Daniel Warren Johnson. Basically, he said that with not as many words. Like I say, you could get this for $12. So I'm excited to see what he does with the Demon. Supposedly, he's always been wanting to work on that character, which the character's cool. He doesn't get enough love. I'm surprised it's not in a more Black Label book or like Vertigo. Vertigo's so weird now. The new Vertigo lineup, it's like not even like horror based or anything. Here's a James Heron Wolverine, which is kind of cool. So that's kind of the only thing besides the Lobo book, which I'll take a peek at. And speaking of Lobo, I just saw this before we went live. Where is it? Here's Daniel Warren Johnson, your boy. See, they do they not have similar styles? I feel like they do. Very fluid styles. Not the best. God, they're obsessed with this. They did this when Injustice 2, the comic, came out, right? They had Harley Quinn beating up Lobo. Why are they obsessed with this? This shouldn't be a cover. First off, you don't have female like versus male wrestling matches, right? It's not a thing. And then, yeah, they're just like, I don't know. Maxie. Oh, yeah, for sure, Maxie. Maxie is definitely from that camp, right? The James Heron, DWJ camp. Like those three guys. And there's, of course, I mean, I worked with the artist Brian Andon, who did the first Masquerade story in The Myths. And he had that kind of similar motion going on in his line work. But yeah, Maxie for sure. And I think that's why Maxie is getting a lot more notoriety now. He's on a book with Image Comics. He's now on he just picked up a run at Image. So, of course, Mad Dog Morgan, we just talked about last week. I still got to back that. I'm definitely going to be getting that one. Yeah, this guy's getting forked. Look at this. You don't fork Lobo. He doesn't fork around. Andy Kaufman. Yes. And yeah, shout outs to Maxie, who I went to the shop this week and I didn't see his book. So the series he's on is called Lost Fantasy, Maxie. And it had a run of 4 issues with a different artist, I believe. He's coming in on issue 5. Has anyone read Ultra Mega? It is just a shameless Ultraman ripoff that... Oh, is it? Just the shameless... the only person that I knew was popping off about it was Donald. Donald loves that group of artists, So he was reading Do a Powerbomb, Ultra Mega. I remember Daniel Warren Johnson from Murder Falcon. That's the first thing I saw and kind of started collecting that back in the day. Alan says Etrigan is a hip old granny who can hip hop, bebop, rock till you drop, and he makes a wicked cup of cocoa. They got a lot of strong strains of weed in California, ladies and gentlemen. It's laced with something over there. Alan's smoking. Reminds me of Kelsey's character. Kelsey did a couple pieces of Shank that had that wiggly line. Specifically remembering a motorcycle shot where he's riding a bike out of an explosion. A lot of motion like that. Yeah, man, Shank was so freaking awesome. I still want that book. Lobo's toxic masculinity must be humiliated. That is interesting. Is Lobo an ICE agent in this one? Oh, here we go, Jake. I bought Ultra Mega and gave it away. That's interesting. Did you try to read it? Yeah, I miss Kelsey too. We're gonna get into Christmas time, and then we'll be playing that "Where Are You, Kelsey" video that I made years ago. Rest in swamp. Kelsey, come back. All right, so that's my DC news. Etrigan, I'll buy issue 1. He better rhyme. That's the thing. I want him to rhyme. All right, Etrigan didn't always rhyme. In his introduction into DC Comics with Jack Kirby, Jason Blood, the only time Etrigan would rhyme was when he was doing magic, right? So when Jason Blood turns into the demon, he says a special rhyme. And then I believe when the demon was doing magic, he would rhyme. But Alan Moore was like doubled down. He's like, I see what you did, Kirby. I'm making this even cooler. Everything he says is going to rhyme. Swamp Thing run was super good. And that's how I think it should be. When they put him in the animated films, they did a Justice League Dark animated film. Pretty sure he rhymed all the time. I don't know, my demon rhymes. You got to rhyme, okay. What if it's just a visual rhyme? I don't know what that means. It's a crime to rhyme sometimes. Sometimes. Oh, I did it. Alan Moore and cool. Come on. Alan Moore was a writer. He knew how to write. He wrote some good stuff. Didn't probably there was, I wouldn't put it past him, but I don't know if it was this guy, but there was a guy from Anthrax who wrote a Lobo book that was so not good. It was the worst. Well, probably not the worst. At the time, 20 years ago, it was Lobo. What's it called? Highway to Hell. I think Sam Keith drew it, but it was written by a band member from Anthrax, and it was not good. So you might be thinking of that, actually. All right, what's next on the thing? We got Snarkticon. Speaking, okay, that is what I was excited from DC. This is what I'm not excited. And this is not going to happen. You cannot make logo happen. All right. Look at this. This isn't the amalgam verse. Lobo mixed with Wolverine, with Logan, Lobo, logo. He instead of claws, he has hooks, and the hooks are connected to chains that run out of his arms. It's not great. It's not great. I went to the store. They had a wall of this book. Because I think this is the second printing cover. They don't need a second printing of this. My local Graham Cracker Comics has shelves of the first one still. And it's like 8 different variants. All right. So you don't need a second cover, Marvel. A second printing, I should say. Second printing. Because I think that this is the second. Is this right? Yeah, second print. You don't need a second print. Get out of here. Get out of here with this. We do have a super chat. Don't ask, Amanda. Don't ask. Nail Bunny, $5. When is the call-in segment? You want me to drop the link? Oh my goodness. I actually thought about that multiple times today. I'm like, yeah, I don't really have anything to specifically talk about, even though, what do we got? 20 minutes left? I should get into this Indiegogo stuff. But I could do a call-in link, you know, but then here's the thing. If I put the call-in link out, I'm going to feel bad when no one comes in here and talks to me. I'm going to be embarrassed, you know, because no one wants to talk to me. Snarticom, you ordered one? Oh, Snarticom. Lobo plus He-Man equals homo. Yo, what's up, Aaron?
What's up?
Good to see you, bro. Yeah, do not support logo. Just based on principle. Yes, talk about IGG. I need some talking points. Hold on. These guys don't know how to research. All right, more cool art. Shoutouts to Michael Rushbrook. He's been doing Mushtober, aka Rushtober. He did Union today, which is badass. It's a great pose and composition. Even though I've never read a Union book, and just like a lot of people, all right. Even though Mark Texera is awesome, but Rushbrook's also been doing freaking Zaid Comics characters, killers, silhouette. Look at that. Look at that foreshortening. Look at the light bouncing off the barrel of the gun. Look at the flatness of his face. It's just a shadow. It's so awesome. So dope. Rushbrook is top. Yeah, they know I have Zades. What's up, Michael Deesh? Look, they're using your real names. There's no @ anymore. YouTube is flip-flopping every day. Who has read a Union book? No one. No one's read a Union book. I'm sure people have. I heard he was cool. Union is a space cop. Oh, he's like a Green Lantern, but instead of a ring, he has a rod. Face flatness is good. Amanda says, you know the last where you posted something about choosing automatic payments. Oh, is this I reached out to Indiegogo and they responded, there is no way for them to take my money now. Oh, like you had a structured settlement and you need cash now? Like calling JG Wentworth? 877 cash now. That's weird. So it's all on the back end. Is that what you're saying? Indiegogo says they're not doing instant payments, but there is a thing that said you could opt in to pay instant payment. Remember that post I made, which you're talking about right now. We'll check that out. Okay, let's go super fast through these. We got The Masquerade, one of my favorites. Speaking of rhymers, one of his superpowers is super rhyming. He could rhyme his way out of a anti-rhyming box. Masquerade, dope. He will make an appearance in the next Lost Pages. Vanessa, if you're still in the chat, he will. And in the Lost Pages 5 for Shizzle is going to be all about him. It's going to be awesome. Shouts to Mushbrook for that. And look at this. A lesser known Lost Pages character, Drift legend. Drift, who I'm excited to do a solo story for Drift as well. Super cool. Lots of cars, drag racing, drifting. Chinatown. Imagine Chinatown. That's all you need to know. Drift Legend. Are those... No. What are... This is a... What are you talking about? They're not boobs. Let's see. Yeah. Rushbrook is awesome. Could he rhyme his way out of a paper bag? You best believe it. All right, we'll skip some other things. I wanted to talk about this. Shout outs to Odysseus Theodoratos, the young Odie, mangaka Odie, getting set up with volume 3 of Tomahawk Angel, his own book. I have the first 2. I still need to read the second one. I'd love to read the second one and then have him on and talk about it, because that's what we did a couple years back. So this will be in stores again. Volume 3 is coming out from Dark Horse and Tapas. In the year 2050, a ruined world is overrun by monsters and humanity is on the verge of extinction. Caught in a web of mysteries and lost memories, Valerie, this doesn't look like a Valerie. Valerie faces the collapse of humanity while grappling with why Cortex turned her into a monster. There you go. His hair looks like taffy or like a fruit roll-up, you know? Super cool. So this is, does it say when it's out? Coming soon. Details in that link. Shout it. Oh, Vanessa, it is hard. So hard. Shout outs to Tomahawk Angel. My local comic shop ordered it for me, the first 2. So I do have the first 2. I read the first one, haven't read the second though. There we go. So that is that. Well, we got 15 minutes left. I already talked about that. We could go a little overtime. A little Gambit news.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Gambit news is here from.
I've been waiting for this. I'm about to make a name for myself here.
Little Gambit. We got Snarkticom thrown in the Gambit news. Says, well, would you look at that? It's purple. It is purple. Gambit Remy. My boy. Another, this one is a new, let me know, how was this Snarkticom? Unbreakable X-Men. Gambit's blind. Maybe. So this is Gambit's new look. I heard Rogue's a statue now or something. Dumb. All right. We're back. Indiegogo is here. Gambit news is over. Pizza Medi says, since the Indiegogo update reset all of my fulfillment statuses, it looks like I've fulfilled none of my campaigns. They all have 0 fulfillment. Any other creators experiencing this? So I checked this. Now this is a little update here. You guys see me? A little update. All of my campaigns are now back on Indiegogo. Even Magic Cop 1, which was the first campaign 2019, that's up there. So I'm not sure with I know Buzz was having, a lot of his campaigns were gone. Psycho Slumber was gone for me and Magic Cop 1. They're up. I just checked before I'm sorry, Cranberry. I checked before the show. They're up there. They're good. So as they said, they would, over time, they'd get back to it. So that's good. This thing, I checked this too. And on all of my campaigns, it looks exactly like this and says 0, shipping addresses completed and stuff like that. My guess is because all of our campaigns, mine, Bancroft's, Pete's, because they are from before the transfer, there was no such thing as Pledge Manager back then. So I'm guessing that they just all look like this because we didn't go through the Pledge Manager process. It was something totally different. So hopefully it's not like if we try to put a new campaign up, they're going to be like, oh, you don't have your completed thing. I would assume that they understand that those previous campaigns have been fulfilled because they had that information. So the way I see it, I'm just looking at it as this is something that doesn't entail to us. It doesn't involve us because we didn't go through this new pledge manager parameter. So I'm not big worried about this part of it. I think he did mention that he was in the middle of fulfilling a campaign on Indiegogo, and he can't find like the info of the backers that he'd already fulfilled are now like zeroed out. So he can't discern through that site, through Indiegogo. So that might be an issue, unless he has another new spreadsheet. Phil stealing my content. Hey, this is what it means to rumble with the big dogs, Bancroft. You know, I got this time slot. All right. I'll shoot you a raid though, you know. All right, that was just the newest thing I saw. The other thing is I wanted to go through. There's an actual like list. A list of information. Where is this? A list of information that is on the Indiegogo site. Here it is. That I was actually pulling from to make those tweets. And that is right over here. Project setup. So this is like what I was going through and making those tweets about. So there was one that was interesting. So they had like the end game thing, which I talked about. I tweeted it out. We talked about that last week. Follower gifts, tester mode, which I mean, we could read through that. But the thing on page 2 I wanted to look at, Creator Digest was, Creator Digest. So this, like, if you guys have free time, I had last Saturday, I was working a shift at the arcade. So in my downtime, I was just reading through things and sniping out what I thought would be interesting information to put out there. So let's check out what this is. What is the Creator Digest? Creator Digest is an email summary of recent actions and comments across your projects. It's an incredibly useful tool to keep track of your campaign's engagement. So seeming like an analytics thing and how people are engaging with your page. Updates. By consolidating all updates into a single email to help you manage your inbox. In order to reduce the volume of emails you receive, we have included all product summaries within one message. What is included in the digest? Number of new and canceled pledges, changes in the tutorial follower count, new comments posted on your projects, highlights of the most active discussions related to your project. Hello. So this seems like this is probably like something they send you out. Oh, yeah, monthly. Interesting. Yeah, I feel like in Kickstarter does this. I feel like when I was running, or not running, but when I was a part of the Psycho Slumber Kickstarter, like every week I would get just one email and it would tell you the movement of the activity of the campaign. So this is interesting. Maybe this is a way to keep down like automated emails that they're sending out. Only creators will get this, I guess. Can manage the digest. All right, let's go back here. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. They will email you all the comments demanding refunds. No. So, I mean, maybe people are not getting notified that they're getting comments. You know, this will help that. Let's see. Thanks for covering this stuff. Basketball. Yeah, enjoy the basketball game, Sumo. Indiegogo is turning into Kickstarter confirmed. Well, I mean, to some extent, because GameFound, the board game crowdfunding company, started in order to make a better crowdfunding platform than Kickstarter for specifically board games. So now that they've acquired Indiegogo, they obviously want to make something that they're familiar with that can compete with Kickstarter. So the stuff that they're bringing over from their GameFound site to Indiegogo is most likely all based on things they tried to improve on from Kickstarter. Following the industry leader. Yeah, Polish power. Hey, man. I'm half Polish, you know. All right, let's see what else we got here. So that was interesting. I didn't understand that Creator Digest. Good to know. Backup payment method. Should we look at that? Let's see. Project image description. Copying section descriptions. Let's see what backup. Should we see what backup payment method is? Backup payment method. One of the required steps when setting up a crowdfunding project, adding backup payment methods. You guys probably don't really care about this specifically. Let's see. It is used to cover refunds. If there's not enough in the balance, that makes sense. Such as a scenario, you won't be able to process a refund without a backup method until you receive a new pledge. Which amount will be enough to cover it? All right. Let's go back to page 1. So I probably just already, if you guys have any questions on stretch goals, end game, follower gifts, which are kind of the newest cool things that creators could add to their thing, their projects, just go to my Twitter page. I posted those up. Project roles and permissions, that's just for creators. Now, the thing I did want to take a look at that you were talking about, Amanda, and I'll go back to my Twitter page to pull that up, is what you were talking about with late pledges. And I did get a lot of reaction from people on Twitter about that, saying that that was the only reason they or one of the main reasons they liked Indiegogo over Kickstarter. Let me see if I could find that one. Yeah, here we go. Right here. Is because they took the money out right when you pledge, which is it. That was great. I mean, I thought that was a great method that competed with Kickstarter. So read this. When will a pledge be, when will I be charged for my pledge? You'll be charged only after a successful crowdfunding campaign. So that means after the crowdfunder ends and you go into the pledge manager stage, because things work differently now. Unless you choose, now here's the thing, unless you choose an instant payment method, which they didn't really expand upon that. Instant payment method, which means the project must reach its funding goal in the campaign. Adyen, which is the new form of transactional whatever, like Stripe, will try and charge your card for 2 weeks after the crowdfunding's end in case of paying in the one sum for the entire pledge. But it says right there that you could choose an instant payment method. So I'd like to know more about that. And they said there's no way to do it, Amanda. Is that what you were saying earlier? Let's see what you're saying. Oh, no refunds? I feel like I'm missing a lot here. Is it late pledges? Well, late pledges is like in demand. So whenever you see them talking about late pledges, it's basically in demand. It's a new level of the campaigns, the next level. Yo, what's up, Rick? Now I see why I'm so worried. Hail, Rick Sailor. Yeah, I mean, there's so much to unpack with this, and hopefully Bancroft could do it. Hopefully his eyes aren't as tired as my eyes for some reason. Hopefully he could shed more insights, and because I haven't shot them an email. I know a lot of people have been talking with them, but I'm just like right now, I'm just interested to know the new things because I don't know when's the next time I'm going to use the platform. I'm sure I will eventually, focused on our own site right now, but it's just a lot to unpack. And every time someone thinks they figure it out, there's like, oh, but wait, this thing over here says this. So I wish they would put out videos, like Global Comics has, and even like StreamYards, every time you log into StreamYards as a person that uses it, there's a new feature and it gives you like a GIF or a video explaining it. Those are easy to digest, but I understand that's a whole other, you got to hire someone that's going to make the video. All right, Amanda says, yeah, when I emailed about choosing immediate payment, they said only charged at the end and referred me to an ending flexible payment blog. Okay. Then that contradicts with that half of that sentence saying, unless you choose an instant payment method. If there's, maybe that's something they're going to roll out later, but why even have that in there? Because then, yeah, it just is exactly like Kickstarter, which is annoying because if you're someone that backs a lot of campaigns and you have them stacked and you have 3 that end the same week, depending on how much you backed, you just drain your account, So you have to keep track of all that stuff. But I guess it doesn't come out. Well, I don't know. Nothing has ended. There's been no new Indiegogo campaigns that have then ended to see what happens when the pledge manager comes in. I would hope it's not an automatic account drain. You probably have to get an email and then okay the transaction, I would imagine. Hopefully. Let's see. Comics Legends, can you still back multiple times with Indiegogo, or is it once like Kickstarter? Seemingly, from what I've heard, it's all, and I'm pretty sure Moromi said this last night in the chat, that he can only back once and then update your pledge, right? You can't back multiple times, and that's probably for the best. That way you don't have multiple backer numbers. It's probably better for the creators as well, where it's everything consolidated into one backer number with one address and however many perks. It'll be better clarity wise for everybody, I think. Let's see here. As a backer, I'd like to know if they're locking an amount on my credit card until they draw the funds at the end or what. I know. Yeah. And I mean, that's kind of the issue I'm having right now is there's the new policies. There's not a clear indication of what's going on going forward for backers. Like, we all should have gotten an email with a concise video that is talking about the changes, especially for people that have been using this platform for years. I think that's kind of a failure on their part, because obviously you guys have so many questions about it. So do I. But I appreciate you guys. Appreciate the combo. I mean, I'm still confused with the 2 backer numbers that it chose. Like during the campaign, even though I talked about it last week, even on the back end for creators, it's kind of a little confusing. But with stretch goals, sometimes a variant cover is revealed, and I lost it here. Sometimes a variant cover is revealed or other thing to purchase later in the campaign, so you can add it to your existing previous order. Yes, that's what I'm pretty sure how it works, because that's how it works on Kickstarter. So they obviously have, you could, I would assume you could still put up perks later on in the campaign. You would just add that to it. Not sure how the shipping works, because it seems like shipping can now be calculated at the end of the campaign, but it's all trial by fire now. So like, who just put up a campaign? Billy Tucci. I know Graham Nolan's launching a campaign very soon. Kenneth is launching soon. And so it's going to be a new experience for everybody. Sumo says, my stomach is boycotting Taco Bell ever since they encroached on Taco Bell's Australian monopoly. Yeah, I haven't been there in a while. I want to say I may not have gone this year. Yeah. It's so cheap, That's how they get you. It's so cheap. Yeah. Send me that, Snarky.com. They have expanded their stretch goal game. So that is a good question. Talking to Comics Legend. Yeah, I do like the stretch goal thing. I think that's cool. That's kind of something I'm excited about implementing one day. Less refunding is a money saver. What was the refunding thing? Expensive. Yeah, I could do without Baja Blast. Yeah, stretch goal thing is cool. The follower gift thing is very cool. That's going to help a lot of creators, so they don't have to make like separate spreadsheets and keep track of, the first people that followed their campaign. But that's another thing. I heard that now with this new update, either it's much more difficult to find who those people are that signed up, or it just might be we're so new to everything we just don't know where to look, or they've wiped it. And I don't think they've wiped it, because if you look at, like, let's go, I bet we could see the She campaign. Indiegogo. Yeah, let's go to Indiegogo. Rerun. Oh man, this computer's trash. All right, here we go. Now it's good now. She. Oh no, it's not She. It's called Ran, right? My bad. Ran. Yeah, here it is. All right, Ran. Revenge of the Warrior. I just want to test something before we get out here. So 430 backers. Does it say, do you guys see where followers are? See, I could follow, but I bet there's a way that Billy could see how many followers he has. And that includes the people that were signed up to it. All right. So if he had a follower gift, then whoever backs gets that gift automatically, like whatever you want to give as a sign-up goal, trading card, print. I think that's awesome. I think that's a cool little improvement thing. Stuff like that is going to make it more enjoyable for backers. And it's going to actually be less work for creators to keep track of things. Because like when I did, either my sketch cards for the campaigns, I have a document with just like a list of everybody that had bought a sketch card and which one they got. And same thing with early sign up stuff. You really got to keep track of that. So those things are improvements. I know Pete and Jake and a lot of people have issues with the aesthetics. Everything's kind of like in your face, not a lot of clarity to it. And hopefully that'll clear up over time. I think it's just a matter of time using the platform and them fine tuning it before we could really say if this was a big L or W for them. Too early to tell, I still say. But hopefully with these streams, hopefully Bancroft knows more than I do about this. Looking at my most recent pledge before the change, I could add more items or edit the pledge. Sounds like similar to Kickstarter, not add another backing like before. So that means that's been grandfathered in to the previous campaigns that were in demand. So because they were already in demand, there's no like waiting period before it goes into late pledge. It seems like it's already in late pledge now. So yeah, like you said, you could add to it or take things away from it, like edit it, but not back again. What I would like to know, Amanda, is if you do add to it, is it adding the shipping from that perk as well? Because then that shipping is going to add up fast. Like if you add, another book that has another $6 of shipping, does it add the previous $6 and this new $6 to be 12? Or is the shipping coming later? I don't know. That's what I'm interested in. It also tells me I'll be asked for a precise address during pledge management. I don't want no surveys. So I think that's the pledge manager is, I guess if you want to think about it as a survey. Yeah. Which, when you think about it, that is kind of good because, well, it's good in the old kind of CG way of, oh, we're going to start fulfilling. It's been a while. Have you moved? Update your address when you're going to be paying for this book. So that's good. But then also, I remember seeing that if you go into late pledge, you can't be later than 3 months of your estimated shipping date. So there's just so much that we'll know a year from now, when there's been a handful of campaigns that have been through the new system. Too early to tell. That one looked like it was still a live campaign, and that's interesting. So it probably launched before the new system. Bill is bummed he'll never get to experience the thrill of Endgame. No, I'm excited for Endgame. We'll be doing Endgame next week. All right, I got to get some food. Bancroft is going to continue this show. You might as well just call it the DIAZ Bro Part 2. So I'm going to send you guys over there. Thank you for hanging out. Awesome chat participation. It was great seeing some old friends in the chat that we don't see so often. Have a good weekend. We got Bancroft. We got the Gutter later on tonight. Lots of awesome things to do. What's up, Whack Ass? Good to see you, man. It is spooky season, ladies and gentlemen. So get ready for next week's Halloween closeout on the Creative Block. Whack Ass, you didn't see this, but this is the giveaway cover for next week's closeout. So make sure you guys have backed the man with no strings, because we have a beautiful Joel Gomez sketch cover that is going out to one lucky person next week during the Creative Block. So be there. Freaking awesome. I'm going to be printing books this weekend, cutting books. We're going to start shipping basically in a week. We're going to start sending books out. And I can't wait to hear you guys' feedback, what you think of the story, all that awesome stuff. And then we're going to go right into issue 1. It's going to be dope. You guys are going to love it. Thank you. I'm going to get some food, maybe some ice cream. Don't tell my brother, but I might be getting someone. And I think we got, oh my God, we got some backing on the campaign. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you on the Flip Flop. Oh, streams this weekend. I'm going to be streaming every day this weekend. So Mark Polton's channel tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be talking about the new book and the closeout. And then Katie, K-Pop Junkies channel Sunday, I think in the evening, I'm going to be streaming as well. And then Sunday, I'm hoping to get some writing done as well. Lost Pages 4. It's going to be sweet. And tell Bancroft I said hello. All right. We'll catch you guys on the Flip Flop. Bye.
And after it's all said and done, you're going to be taking splinters out of your fat asses all night long because you got some fat asses. The only chance you have no chance, but you had a chance, is that you can run lickety split. Because you can't run because you got some fat asses. And after it's done, we're going to have a tailgate party for all my freaks out there in Atlanta, Georgia.
Once upon a time, there was a gunman. His heart was cursed to rot with every soul he took. He was a man who carved a path of revenge through bullets and blood. Find out how much of himself he is willing to lose in order to get back what's been taken from him. He's the man with no strings. Yeah!
Final question. There's one thing you could change about the industry. What would it be?
One thing I'd change about the industry.
Leading question.
It's just stop sticking your nose in what other people are doing and get on with your own work. Do you know what I mean? Just stick your nose out of people's business, and tell them what they should be fucking doing and not doing, and do your own shit. You should be, if you want to be creative, you should be getting on with your own deal,